Welcome, everyone, to A Call for Judgment. I wanted to cover this story because 60 Minutes and other mainstream media outlets continue to push the fear of hacking. Now, I've talked about for years about how hacking and the fear of your bank account being hacked, your identity being hacked, was one of the ways they were going to market getting technology underneath your skin and inside of your body. Celebrities will be a major part of all of these agendas, as you have seen over the years. As I have stated over the years, the importance of covering these celebrities, despite being ridiculed early on, that it was about clickbait talking about these people, is very important to show the agendas that the celebrities were pushing, as well as the symbolism that we constantly saw, whether it was the all-seeing eye symbolism, et cetera, to prove that these people were actually in on it and a part of the occult and were pushing agendas. Well, now all the celebrities, instead of actually acting and doing these things in movies, are doing more as far as quote-unquote activism. Same with athletes. We see Leo DiCaprio, we see Tom Hanks, we see all of these celebrities constantly in our faces telling us what we need to do and what we should believe and how we need to save the environment and, climate change. And this is one of the agendas as well that they will push. Artificial intelligence, the need for it, and of course, pushing the fear of being hacked. So Robert Downey Jr., one of the elite's favorite influencers to use over the years, he's been involved in many different agendas, which I've covered, especially the agenda to go out and vote, which was, they were using a huge push with celebrities to try to convince the masses out there that their vote actually counted, because again, they wanted to blame all of these things with Trump and all of these things with Biden so that the people would blame one another. And that's how they began this civil unrest, right? All the celebrities come out and they say, oh, you got to vote. It's your responsibility to vote. Right? And then when they start the chaos between, oh, Trump, he's so bad, the liberals point and say, it's these people, it's your fault, you voted for him. And now the other way in the seesaw, right? All the Republicans pointing at the liberals. And again, this is all about dividing us into civil unrest. And if you haven't seen the video I put up on the national divorce, I highly recommend you check it out. But to continue on here, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be one of the voices, along with many, to talk about the threat of cyber crimes, cyber attacks. We know that they have an army for cyber attacks. This is all just poo-pooing for people to be fearful, and again, and to give them an excuse to freeze bank accounts, drain bank accounts, and have, deep fakes and all these types of things that our government's going to be behind, and then blame it on the boogeyman in Russia and all these places, the guy, the anonymous person, all those images we've always seen of somebody with a hoodie on a laptop. They'll start pushing that over and over and over again, as they already have, because the people fear the boogeyman. And this will get people on board to eventually get technology in their body. But this is how it starts with even a celebrity like Robert Downey Jr. can be hacked. So that means so can you. We need to do something about it.
While researching this week's story about online scams targeting seniors, we quickly learned that no one is safe online. Even one of Hollywood's biggest stars, Robert Downey Jr., famously known as Iron Man, told us he's been the victim of a hack. We asked the on-screen crime fighter about how he became a victim when we met him in Austin, Texas, at the South by Southwest Festival.
Well, I got hacked in 2019. I noticed, I was like, I thought I was not vulnerable. I have good IT people, I have security, so everyone's vulnerable.
What did you learn in that experience when you're hacked?
If you think it won't happen to you, and then you realize, this is happening all the time. Scams, hacks, frauds, identity theft. 1 million kids last year had their identity stolen, so it kind of got a little, PO'd about it.
Please welcome to the stage, Robert Downey Jr.
How are we? South by Southwest, this is awesome.
Downey was here to announce he is teaming up as an investor with Aura, the tech company that appeared in our story this week and uses artificial intelligence to protect people online. As the company's spokesman, he hosted a panel to raise awareness about the threat of online scams.
Last year, Americans lost $10.3 billion to online crime. That was just updated, new data from the FBI. How can we argue that online crime is anything but a national crisis? That's honestly why I'm here. That's the answer to the question, is I take this pretty seriously. I'm a husband, I'm a dad, I'm a human. I'm hardwired, as we all are, to protect our family, protect our assets, protect our interests. And I think it's time to fight back against cybercriminals.
So again, Robert Downey Jr., Okay, and these celebrities, like, they have nothing better to do. As if, oh wow, Robert Downey Jr.'s Instagram account was hacked. Ooh, the world is gonna burn. But in reality, obviously, that's a huge, massive joke. Like, who would actually care? Like, even if my YouTube channel was hacked, like, would it really be a big deal? Like, you think I'd make a big, huge deal about it? But the millennials and the Gen Z out there having their Instagram account or their YouTube account or their Facebook account hacked, the world will burn if somebody posts a picture of something else or writes something that didn't come directly out of their mouth as a tweet. Oh my goodness, right? That's how they'll market it to them. And then obviously the other people out there who don't care about that, they'll market this stuff as in, oh, well, technology can actually affect your day-to-day life because somebody could use your social security and pretend that you're you and take out credit. Or your bank account. There could be issues with your bank account. Like somebody could just go in and steal your bank account. It wouldn't be Big Brother doing it to you, right? That's only exactly what we see going on in China with the social score, but we won't believe that here in America, right? Because in China, you see, if you disagree with the government, they freeze your bank account, right? And that's a communist country. As I've been covering, America is turning into a communist country, as will all the countries, because that's what the New World Order government is. It's communism. The government will seize your bank accounts and your assets if they see you saying anything, speaking out against them, or not obeying the orders of the carbon footprint, which is, again, your imprisonment stamp. It's your way of being locked in your home and monitored 24/7, where they give you, you can go outside for an hour, the equivalent of a prison mate going out in the yard for an hour, or whatever they call it in prison, where they go out and walk around in the outdoors for an hour, right? We've seen it with the line, the thing I covered, where they're saying, oh, it's going to be, freedom out in the middle of Saudi Arabia, where we could save the climate together and we can all live out in the middle of nowhere, but we'll help the environment. And look, your bedroom can also be right next to your office, which is right next to your toilet, and you could just stay in there, and for an hour, we could all go on the roof and look at the sun, but then we got to go right back in, and everyone's like, ooh, it looks like a futuristic city. Yeah, futuristic cell. So Robert Downey Jr., they say, might be known as Hollywood's eccentric tech billionaire Tony Stark turned into iconic Marvel Avengers superhero Iron Man, but off screen he is a prolific investor who has backed dozens of AI-powered startups through investment firms, Downey Ventures and Footprint, Coalition Ventures, I didn't see that, but Footprint, as in Carbon Footprint. So when his Instagram got hacked in 2019, and he had to deal with the hassle of trying to get it back before recovery support existed, perhaps it was inevitable that one day he would be called upon to make the internet a safer place. So we're supposed to believe, because Robert Downey's internet got hacked, that he's spending his spare time, instead of acting, right? He's an activist now. He's chosen this of all the things, right? There's, we have starvation and all these things. He's chosen this. This is a huge, as you heard him say, cybercrime is one of the biggest threats in the world, right? Just like white supremacy is one of the biggest threats. The climate change is one of the biggest threats, right? Hate speech is one of the big. It just goes on and on and on. They all tie in together. And every celebrity out there just keeps, popping up, the biggest ones, endorsing these things, supporting these things, because they want to have influence over people out there. And the only way they're going to get people to do what I'm about to show you is by using people like Robert Downey, Leo DiCaprio, you name it, and then for the female, Kim Kardashian, influencers. There'll be YouTube influencers, Mr. Beast, all of them. They'll be used to influence Gen Z and the millennials into taking this. And they'll beat it into their head with repetition over and over. And this is what I'm talking about. Because once the technology that they're pushing, they start with this, they start with fear, right? Be fearful you're going to be hacked. We have to do something about that. We have the cyber crimes, your identity stolen, et cetera, right? So they put that seed in everyone's head. And what does that lead to? It leads to tech being inside of you, right? They'll tell you that it's safe, but it really leads to, the ability to hack humans. Yeah, take a look.
The really big thing is hacking human beings. To hack human beings, you need a lot of biological knowledge, a lot of computing power, and especially a lot of data. If you have enough data about me and enough computing power and biological knowledge, you can hack my body, my brain, my life. You can reach a point when you know me better than I know myself. And once you reach that point, and we are very close to that point, then democracy, the free market, as we have, and actually all political systems also authoritarian regimes. We have no idea what happens once you pass that point. Now, in the past, many tyrants and governments wanted to do it, but nobody understood biology well enough. And nobody had enough computing power and data to hack millions of people. Neither the Gestapo nor the KGB could do it. But soon, at least some corporations and governments will be able to systematically hack all the people. We humans should get used to the idea that we are no longer mysterious souls. We are now hackable animals. Data might enable human elites to do something even more radical than just build digital dictatorships. By hacking organisms, elites may gain the power to re-engineer the future of life itself. Because once you can hack something, you can usually also engineer it. And if indeed we succeed in hacking and engineering life, this will be not just the greatest revolution in the history of humanity. This will be the greatest revolution in biology since the very beginning of life 4 billion years ago. For 4 billion years, nothing fundamental changed in the basic rules of the game of life. All of life, for 4 billion years, dinosaurs, amoebas, tomatoes, humans, all of life was subject to the laws of natural selection and to the laws of organic biochemistry. But this is now about to change. Science is replacing evolution by natural selection with evolution by intelligent design. Not the intelligent design of some god above the clouds, but our intelligent design and the intelligent design of our clouds, the IBM cloud, the Microsoft cloud. These are the new driving forces of evolution. And at the same time, science may enable life, after being confined for 4 billion years to the limited realm of organic compounds, science may enable life to break out into the inorganic realm. So after 4 billion years of organic life shaped by natural selection, we are entering the era of inorganic life shaped by intelligent design. So does the data about my DNA, my brain, my body, my life, does it belong to me or to some corporation or to the government or perhaps to the human collective? Humans are now hackable animals. You know, the whole idea that humans have, you know, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over. Free will, that's over.
That's over.
Over. Today, we have the technology to hack human beings on a massive scale. Yeah, I mean, everything is being digitalized. Everything is being monitored. In this time of crisis, you have to follow science. It's often said that you should never allow a good crisis to go to waste, because a crisis is an opportunity to also do good reforms that in normal times people will never agree to. But in a crisis, you see, we have no chance. So let's do it.
Vaccine won't help us go to the test, of course.
The vaccine will help us, of course. It will make things, you know, more manageable. Surveillance. People could look back in 100 years and identify the coronavirus epidemic as the moment when a new regime of surveillance took over, especially surveillance under the skin, which I think is maybe the most important development of the 21st century, is this ability to hack human beings, to go under the skin, collect biometric data,
analyze it and understand people better than they understand themselves. This, I believe, is maybe the most important event of the 21st century.
One of the features of this fourth industrial revolution is that it doesn't change what we are doing, but it changes us.
The difference of this fourth industrial revolution is it doesn't change what you are doing. It changes you. If you take a genetic editing, just as an example, it's you who are changed. And of course, this has a big impact on your identity.
And offers certain kinds of possibilities that have to be careful about. You know, when you began to do that kind of gene editing, some people worry that you are changing what it means to be human.
That's the problem. And of course, the new industrial revolution offers us many opportunities, but it raises manifold questions on the ethical, but even legal implications. And we have to be prepared for it. And that's what we want to do in Davos next year.
Talk about technology and how the ways it can be deployed, that contribute to growth rather than exacerbate unemployment. How will that implement itself?
It's a big question mark because there is a fear that technology, robots, just to take one
you gain productivity from machines.
Exactly, and it replaces maybe the workforce or jobs faster than we can replace them with new jobs. Not everybody can be a robot polisher and so on, so there will be new jobs.
So that's what this all comes down to, right? Human beings being hacked. I've shown the clips before from some of the skits like Stretch Armstrong, where they show human beings being hacked with the smart chip.
The smart mark. Because the smart mark is more than just a phone. It's part of you. It's part of you. It is cash. Book your travel. Shoot video.
I never realized how wonderful technology could make me feel.
The smart mark has brought order to my life.
23% of the population has been given the smart mark.
Let's put our new recruits to work.
We should find the flex fighters.
I ought to find the flex fighters.
We should find the flex fighters.
World order is our destiny. Submit to a smart mark and join the glorious victory of order over chaos.
People think smart marks are brand new rook tech that will improve their lives.
They don't know they're being tricked.
But your chip makes it possible to control everyone in Charter City, whether they're marked or not.
Right? All of this stuff ties together with the mark, with it being under your skin, inside of you, right? That's where we're headed. But psychologically, they have to influence and convince people to do it. No one's going to willingly sign up. If they're like, tomorrow, come and get the technology in your body, people would just be like, why would I do that? Oh, but if they constantly see fear and they constantly see all these things happening and story after story about people's bank accounts being stolen and identities being stolen and, oh my goodness, the crimes and et cetera, et cetera. And on top of that, my favorite celebrity, Tony Stark himself, Robert Downey, is promoting it. So it must be safe and good because he's such a great, wonderful person who cares about society. And they're all philanthropists, again, which goes back to all the secret societies where they're all taught and told how to be philanthropists. It's a big scam. It's a mind control tactic. Society will fall into place and follow suit because they are sheep. Well, I hate to use the word sheep. They are zombies. They are brain dead zombies, especially Gen Z, especially a lot of millennials out there. They love their celebrities. They're too narcissistic, like I recently said, to admit it, but they love them. And they're the ones who are so key and integral in brainwashing people into this. Nobody's going to care if a senator from Kentucky is on TV telling you that you need to go get this, right? Why do you think with the magic potion they rolled out every single celebrity possible doing selfies of them, putting it in their arm? Oh, well, every single celebrity was doing it because they were told to do it, because they wanted every single celebrity to do it because they figured every single zombie out there would do it. And they did. They didn't do it because, you know, the senator or the mayor of Los Angeles was telling everyone that they needed to do it. They were saying it because that was their job was to pretend to be, oh, well, we're here to help and go do that. But then the celebrities were there to do the influencing. And that's exactly what's going to happen with the mark of the beast. So they want to hack humans. And it all starts psychologically with the hacking and the dangers of just having anything online. And remember, this has to do with your digital identity, right? Your digital ID online, everything of you online, but safe and protected, of course, because right now they don't have the ability to, but they will conveniently have the ability to protect all that stuff, because then the government won't be doing all that. They'll just be hacking you, literally, without you realizing that your brain's being hacked. You see how it works? Pretty frightening, pretty dumb society, but share this video with people. Hopefully they understand. A lot of people don't. They think it's too much for their brains to process. Obviously, if you've been awake for a while, it's easy to process. If you're new to all this stuff, you got to just start seeing it in front of your face, why they're doing this, why they're putting their time and effort into these things, right? Over and over and over, right? Just like this, the stuff we see with the climate and all these activist celebrities, the same thing with the potion. It's all part of an agenda. They're all puppets working for the elites, the globalists. These people are not there because they're more talented than anybody else out there. Oh, they're great actors. Oh, they're this. The best acting that those celebrities do is the acting they do, like you saw Robert Downey talking about being hacked. That's the best acting that they do. The best acting that they do is when they push these agendas. These people are frauds, they're scam artists, and they do not have society's best interests at heart. Their goal is, they'll be protected. They will not have to go into this communist system. They will still have riches. They will still travel the world. They will be rewarded. Their job is to do this. Otherwise, they'll be thrown into the mess with the rest of us. So they're doing their part. They're doing their part, as, like I've said before, with the Me Too movement. The celebrities had to come out and get exposed. That's what the brotherhood is about. The brotherhood is whatever you're told to do, you do. If we say that you've gone out and you've done this to 20 girls, 20 women, whatever, you have to just go with it. Don't worry about your image in society, because your image behind closed doors with all of us is even better. And that's all they care about. They don't care how we view them. They still have their millions of dollars. And behind closed doors, they're promoted. They're elevated in the secret societies for doing what they're told to do. And they'll continue to do that. And this is what it's all about for them. Total control of all of humanity. That's the end game. Robert Downey, all these celebrities, talentless, pathetic, absolute puppets for the globalists. I thank everyone for being here. I hope everybody out there is doing well. I've been trying to roll out as much content as possible. I go on runs. I'm feeling pretty good. Sometimes I go down and I feel a little down with all this stuff, especially when I get hit with strikes unnecessarily and all that. But I hope to see more people over on the website. There's a lot of important stuff over there. I'm going to have to make it like another lander to get people over, because I can't really say anything else other than that. But anyone out there looking for information on the website, just ask around and talk about it. If you're new, of course, to the channel. Most of you are not new. Most of you have been around for a while. So I thank I thank all of you, tongue-tied, for being here. I hope you're all doing well and your families are doing well. God bless you and your families.